Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Christmas tarot reading party. I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm excited to read tarot for you. So I'm just going to start by just kind of introducing myself in case you probably have watched some of my videos before. You probably have an idea of what I do, but in case you haven't, I'm just going to briefly introduce myself. So my name is Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and I've been reading tarot for over 10 years now, a little over 10 years. And I also teach tarot card reading as well. I have a website called dailytarotgirl.com, and there's lots of fun tarot learning resources on that website. And every 2 or 3 months, I do one of these live events where I do free one-card tarot readings for anyone who wants one. And there's also going to be some fun kind of guessing games that I'm going to play in this tarot party. And yeah, we're going to have lots of fun. So if you would like a one-card tarot reading, let me know. And if you have any questions about tarot reading, about learning tarot, or about giving readings, feel free to ask those questions as well. So I just want to take a moment to welcome everyone. All right, welcome. I see the hardest man in tarot is here. Welcome. Hello, Marcy, Jackie, Judy, Kaya, Arlene. Oops. Lilac Adore, Chaos and Cosmos, Maria. Hello, Maria. Maria, I've been meaning to email you. Jackie, Sophie, Diane, Zainab. Hello, everyone. Welcome. All right. So, yeah, so this is my Christmas tarot party, and I'm going to be reading with 2 different tarot decks today. Well, I have 2 different decks by my side. I might just use one, or I might kind of go back and forth. So the first deck I'm going to be reading with is the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is a deck that I almost always use when I'm reading for other people. And it's just a really easy to read, easy to work with deck that I love. I'm really comfortable with that deck. And then I have a new deck here called the Modern Witch Tarot. And it's very similar to the Rider-Waite, like the imagery is very close, but different. So it's another fun deck that I've been really enjoying working with lately. All right. So this Christmas is a weird one, depending on where you're living. This Christmas is going to be really weird for a lot of people. But I'm curious, what is one thing that you're looking forward to this holiday season? I've got my mint tea here. I was going to make hot chocolate. One thing I'm most looking forward to this Christmas is I've been on kind of a modified version of the Candida diet, which is pretty restrictive and I can't have sugar. And I've been doing that for a little over a month now. And so when Christmas comes, I'm going to break that diet and I'm going to eat whatever I want for a couple of days. So that's what I'm most looking forward to, eating chocolate and Yorkshire puddings and stuff like that. All right. Hello, Laura. Hello, Arlene. Okay, so let's, yeah, Liz Neal, you said looking forward to Christmas dinner. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna start by drawing a card for everyone. So I'm gonna warm up a little bit. I need to warm up my reading muscles. So I'm gonna draw one card as a warm up, and I'm gonna start with the Modern Witch Tarot. So I'm just gonna shuffle this deck. And let's see, what question should I ask? I think I just want a general message that will somewhat apply to everyone here, everyone watching. And the message, yeah, I'm just going to ask for a general message. So what do we need to focus on over the next couple of weeks or so? Okay, and the card I got is, ooh, the Emperor. Interesting. Okay. I know there's quite a bit of glare. These are very glossy cards. All right, so we have the Emperor. This is our general card for everyone here. The Emperor is an interesting character because he's kind of stubborn. He likes to do things his way. Um, at the same time, he's kind of a maverick. He doesn't shy unconventional things or getting out of his comfort zone, but he definitely has his idea of how things should be done. And I think that over the next 2 weeks, you want to kind of balance this side of yourself. So you want to advocate for yourself. You want to stand up for yourself. You want to, I guess, not be too, you don't want to be a pushover. You don't want to be um, passive, but at the same time, you really want to maximize the potential or the positive potential of this card instead of the negative potential. So being aware of like temper tantrum tendencies or the tendency your heels in and want to do things your way, or the tendency to not want to deviate from your plan. Ideally, you want to be a little bit flexible over the next couple of weeks, but at the same time, not being a complete pushover. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Dina, you said that's the card of 2020. That's right. Yeah, I think I knew that. Okay, I'm gonna start by reading for, just gonna scroll up to the top here. Okay, I'm gonna start by reading for Sophie. Sophie Roberts, I know you come to all my live events, so I want to give you a reading. Okay, so you say you want some advice. What can help me decide? I have until Christmas Day to do so. Okay, so we don't know what you're trying to decide, and that's fine. Don't tell me. I don't need to know. But I'm going to shuffle my deck. Okay, what will help Sophie decide? Make a decision. That's a good question, actually. All right, Sophie. So you got Queen of Pentacles. And I might switch to my other deck after this just because I didn't realize how glossy these cards were and it's really picking up a ton of glare. I don't know if anyone's having trouble seeing these. All right, so Queen of Pentacles. This is a really beautiful card, and I love the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is all about grounding your energy. She is about focusing on kind of the physical aspect of life and really focusing on meeting your own needs as far as, getting enough healthy food, eating kind of regular meals, getting enough exercise, those kinds of sort of mundane things that we sometimes kind of forget to do. We don't always think that they're super important, but they are. And your question was, how can I make a decision? And it seems like, in a way, you need to get out of your head and into your body. That's what the Queen of Pentacles is all about. I think when you're trying to decide something, you're usually up in your head. You're weighing the pros and cons. You're trying to solve your issue or your choice by thinking about it. And the Queen of Pentacles is saying, get out of your head into your body. Do something physical. Really ground your energy. And I think that is going to put you in a place where you're going to be better able to make a decision. You're going to be better able to feel into your dilemma or your choice and know what the right decision is going to be, the more grounded you are. All right, so thanks, Sophie, for letting me read for you. All right. Okay, I'm going to read for Laura S. All right. This deck feels huge. I guess the cards are really thick or something, but like look how, compared to my Everyday Witch Tarot, it's like almost, it's almost twice the size. All right. So I'm going to draw a card for Laura. All right. Here we have the Knight of Cups. All right, Knight of Cups, beautiful card. Um, let me look at this card. So a couple things pop into my head for you, Laura. Whenever I look at the Knight of Cups, I think emotions, feelings, but also creativity. This card is really encouraging you to do a couple of things. And this is going to sound a little bit cheesy, but it's encouraging you to really go with your heart right now and to let your heart and maybe even your emotions shine a light on your situation. I shy away from advising people to use their emotions as a guide as to what to do, because I think sometimes we can make bad decisions when we do that. But this card seems to be saying, take your emotions and your feelings into consideration as you move forward, as you decide to, put your energy into certain things or remove your energy from certain things or, focus on certain things and make decisions here and there. You really want to take into consideration what your heart wants and what your feelings are. And the other thing that really stands out to me with the Knight of Cups is creativity and artistic expression. It seems like you might be going through, like I'm just looking at the body language and the expression of the figure on this card, and she looks almost like she's not sad, but she's like looking for inspiration. She's just feeling kind of not stuck, but just sort of like, okay, what's next? Like she reminds me a little bit of the Four of Cups and that kind of like energy kind of stagnating, kind of looking for the next thing. And it feels like there's something within you that wants to be expressed. And I think that's something is something creative. It could be something to do with visual arts, it could be writing, but it's something creative that I think once you start to express it and once you start to tap into that thing, you're going to start to get a lot more clarity on where you need to go and what needs to happen. All right. So thank you, Laura. Okay, so I'm just going to read some of the comments here. Yeah, it looks like everyone's looking forward to food this Christmas. That's the number one thing I look forward to as well every Christmas. Okay. Um, so Tina T says, could I kindly have a message from Archangel Michael? I don't do, I don't channel angels, so I don't do any angel stuff. But Tina, if you want a message from my tarot deck, just from my tarot deck, I can do that for you. Just let me know. I don't want to give you a reading if you're like only wanted archangel messages. So let me know if that's okay. All right, Cynthia, I would like a card. I am looking for guidance on the next steps I should take in my career. Okay, perfect. So let's give this deck a shuffle. Okay, so Cynthia, next steps in your career, we have, ooh, the Star. I love this card. Okay. I'm really excited to see this card here, Cynthia. All right, so next steps in your career. I'm just going to talk about the Star separate from your question, and then I'm going to relate it to your question. So the Star is really about having trust and faith that everything that unfolds and the way everything works out is the way that it was meant to. I think sometimes we can get stressed out thinking, am I on the right path? Am I making the right decisions? Am I doing the right thing? And we can kind of overthink ourselves and really get stressed out about the kind of minutiae details of day-to-day life. And I think sometimes we get stuck in that trap of trying to control the outcome of life. And you can only control, I was going to say you can only control yourself, but I don't even know if we can control ourselves, to be honest. We can, there's certain things that are within our control. And then there's a lot of stuff that really isn't. And so the Star is saying, the things that you do have power over, um, like maybe the actions you take, the things that you focus on, um, things like that, those are within your control. But all the stuff that is not in your control, like how other people see you or how other people respond to you or how your actions might unfold once you take them. A lot of these things are outside of our control, and you don't do yourself any favor by fixating on those things too much. You need to kind of let go of those things. So the overall message of the star is about letting go. And if you look at the image, it's a woman who is naked, so she's vulnerable. She's shed her clothing, and she's dumping out 2 jugs of water. So this is really about letting go, about allowing yourself to be somewhat vulnerable, allowing yourself to be seen, and letting go. So, to relate this to your question, which was, what steps do I need to take now in my career? There's something about being seen. So, do you feel in your current career as it is now, do you feel seen? Do you feel like the people you work with, and I don't know what you do for a living, so I don't know if you're in the business of creating things or working with people or whatever it is that you do, but do you feel seen? Like, do you feel like your talents and your abilities are really seen? Or do you feel like you're do you feel like they um, that's a question you wanna ask yourself. How can you let go more when it comes to your job and your career? What would it look like for you to kind of loosen the reins a little bit and let go a little bit? It might be about letting go of, um, it may be about letting go of your, if you have like a rigid plan in your head about what you want to achieve, it might be about kind of loosening that a little bit. But ask yourself, how can I let go more? And how can I feel more seen in my work? Okay, so thank you, Cynthia. And thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate that. All right. Okay, I'm just going to read some of the comments here. All right, so Becky says, I am starting a brand new career on January 4th, and I would love some insight. Okay, so I love that. A brand new career, not just a job, but a brand new career on January 4th. January 4th is also the date that my foster kittens go to their new homes. So that date is like clear in my mind. Okay, so Becky, let's draw a card to get some insight into your new career and what the cards have to say about it. Okay, so Becky, you got Page of Pentacles. We're getting a lot of court cards. All right, so Page of Pentacles. This is really fitting in a lot of ways. And I don't know what your career is, or if this is, you say it's a new career, so I don't know if this is like you're just working for a new company, but doing something that you're familiar with, or if you're doing something that's totally unfamiliar to you. I'm gonna throw out a guess and say that this is something that is somewhat unfamiliar to you. This is kind of new terrain. There's going to be a big learning curve. There is going to be a steep learning curve. The pages in the tarot are students, so they're learning. They're just getting their footing. They're getting their uh, yeah, they're getting their footing, they're getting their grounding, they're learning. And so I think that there is going to be a learning curve, but it's going to be positive. You're going to be able to keep up with it. It will be helpful for you in your new career to have some goals. And goals, I mean, I kind of hate that word goals. I feel like I overuse it, and I'm trying to get away from setting goals because I don't know about I don't know about you guys, but whenever I set goals, 9 times out of 10, I don't achieve them. I'll achieve other things that weren't goals, but not the goals I set. So I'm trying to get away from talking about goals, goals, goals. But um, when it comes to this card, and I'm saying this because the Page of Pentacles is holding up this pentacle, and it's almost like that pentacle represents something that you're working towards, something for you to focus on. And if you have certain goals in your as you start your new career, this is actually going to help you focus your energy, because it's going to be really easy for you to get overwhelmed and to spread yourself thin and not really know where to put your attention. So if you have some clear goals about, what you want to focus on, what you want to achieve there, that's really going to help you streamline your energy and be more productive. I feel like there's something else I want to say. It does feel like with this career, you're departing from the familiar. And I say that because the page is wearing a backpack, and in the background is the city. But she's like away from the city. She's kind of in nature. She's got the backpack. It's like she's moving away from what is familiar, what is tried and true, and she's kind of doing something a little bit different, a little bit outside of her comfort zone. So your new career move sounds fascinating, and I wish you the best of luck. And this is a nice card to get. All right. Okay. Okay, so for the next card that I'm going to draw, I'm going to do this one for Maria. So Maria asks, if you have time for me for reading, my question is, what steps do I need to do to find out if he's worth it? Okay, what steps do I need to do to find out if he's worth it? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle my deck. I'm going to draw a card, and I'm not going to show you the card. So I'm going to just talk about the card, and you guys can see if you can guess what card it is that I got. Okay, Maria, I'm going to draw a card for you here. Oh, I showed you guys, didn't I? Okay. You know what? Well, the next one we'll do what I talked about. So the next one you can guess. I accidentally showed you. Oh my God, it's the Page of Pentacles. Again. Okay, I did shuffle the deck, by the way. Okay, so Page of Pentacles. All right, so what steps should you take to find out if he's worth it? The page suggests getting to know this person a little bit, and I don't know if this is someone that you've just met or if this is someone that you've known for a while, but the page suggests kind of starting slowly, taking baby steps, and I think of the page as sort of like laying the groundwork. So I think if you sort of lay the groundwork with this person, kind of get to know them a little bit, I guess that's a really simple, straightforward answer, but I think the more you just kind of get to know them on a very basic level without investing too much emotionally or romantically. Because once you start putting your emotions in there, sometimes it's hard to see someone as they are. Like and here, this is perfect because she's wearing rose-colored glasses. They're actually kind of orangey colored glasses. And so I think that that is a really great analogy for how we can be sometimes, especially when we meet someone new and we look at them through rose-colored lenses. And if you have romantic feelings for this person, which I'm just going to assume that you do, if you have romantic feelings for this person, sometimes that can kind of cloud your judgment a little bit, and you may not see things that you'd normally would see. So the Page of Pentacles is saying, don't jump into anything. Take it slow and get to know this person. And spend time doing things with them that might be out of their comfort zone and maybe even out of your comfort zone. So if you normally would get together for coffee with this person, go for a hike. If you would normally uh, just text and talk on the phone, actually meet to do something for a significant amount of time, not just 20 minutes or whatever. Like, do something that you aren't that you wouldn't normally do. And I think that's going to help you see this person in a new light and figure out if this person's worth your time or not. All right. Okay, so Alicia says, I've recently had a tower moment in my career, needing guidance on my next step. Maybe I should go back to school. Okay, so I just want to say, Alicia, my heart goes out to you. I've had many a tower moment in my careers over my lifetime, many tower moments. In fact, almost all my tower moments in my life have been career related, most of them anyway. So let's shuffle the deck here. So for this card, I'm going to draw you a card. I'm going to talk about the card, and I'm not going to show anyone this card. And let's see if you guys can guess what card I'm talking about. Okay. Interesting. All right. So, so okay, confession time. Sometimes I get stuck when I try to look at a card through the specific lens of the question. So I'm just going to talk about this card and then I'm going to relate it to your question, Alicia. All right. So the first thing that I'm seeing here is balance is moving forward. Balance is going to be important for you. And I almost feel like the reason the tower moment happened in your career is because things were very much out of balance. And I'm kind of just speaking from my own experience here. I don't know anything about your situation, but I know myself, whenever I've had tower moments in my career, it's because it's often because on a sort of subconscious level, I wasn't happy and I needed either more of a challenge or it was too challenging, not in the right way. Like something was really out of balance. And so that's something for you to consider, because I think that moving forward, balance is going to be important for you. And I feel like, especially in terms of giving and receiving, because with a career, you are giving something of yourself. Now, if it's just a job that you don't have any particular attachment to, you're still giving your time. You're still giving your life energy to something. And if it's a career that's more important to you, then you're giving more than your time and your energy. You're also giving more of yourself. Maybe you're giving your creativity, or trying to think what else. You're giving more of yourself if it's a career that you really care about. And we hope that we get something back when we do that. When we put our work out into the world or we put our focus and our time into something, we hope that we get something back. Now, sometimes that the only thing we get back is the paycheck. And sometimes that is enough. Sometimes it isn't. The problem of imbalance happens when you feel like you're just giving your soul to a job and all you're getting is a paycheck. And it feels like you need to receive something that matches what you're giving. So your question was, should I go back to school? And you said you had a tower moment. You didn't say if you lost your job, just needing guidance on the next step and wondering if you should go back to school. So first of all, has anyone guessed what this card is? Let me just see. Okay, good. Good guesses. Okay, Paulowinia says, I thought 2 of Pentacles at first and then 6 of Pentacles. And Alicia, you said that this job was just taking, taking, and taking, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Okay, so that fits kind of with what I said. All right, so Paulownia, I don't know if I'm saying that right. You are correct. It is the Six of Pentacles. Um, yeah, and it's the Six of Pentacles. And in terms of should you go back to school, there's nothing in this card that is pointing towards going back to school or re-educating, which doesn't mean you shouldn't, but it's pointing more towards the need for balance and the need to find a way to make money, to earn a living that doesn't take from you. So you want, you know, whatever you're giving to that job, you want to be getting something in return. Not just a paycheck, you know, or if you are just getting a paycheck, you know, it should be a lot if you're giving yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. So in terms of your next step, um, that's tricky. I don't know. In terms of the next step, I'm not really sure, other than really focusing on that issue of balance. So if you're still in that job, you know, is there a way that you can create more balance? And if you're not in that job, you know, what is a new career path? Or not even necessarily a new career, but you know, somewhere else where you could earn a living that isn't so draining for you, where you can create that balance. So sorry, that's not, I don't know if that's very helpful or not. I think that's probably just kind of confirming what you already know. But hopefully that kind of gives you some ideas. I also, my attention is really drawn to the presents on this card. So the woman, the woman in the center is holding these two presents, and it's like, one is a gift that's being given, and the other is a gift that's being withheld. And I think as you move forward, you know, what is the gift that you want to give with the work that you do? So whether you are working for an organization or if you're starting your own business, you know, you always want to ask, what gift am I offering to the world through this work? You know, what parts of myself do I want to give? And that's always a good question to start with. Okay, so Alicia, you said you got fired. Okay, so you're not in that job. So yeah, asking yourself, you know, what is it that you want to gift to the world, and use that as a starting point. Okay. Let me just read some of these comments here. Okay, so I'm going to do one more reading, and a question I have for you guys, though, I'll put it out here right now before I do this next reading. The question I have for you guys, because I'm kind of racking my brain trying to think of new content to create for my YouTube channel and my website. And I feel like I've done a lot of I've done lots of blog posts and videos on court cards, on spreads and all that stuff. So I want to ask you, you know, is there something that you would like to see me create on like a particular tarot topic? Please let me know and I'll write it down. Okay, so this next reading is going to be for Tipsy Toes 11. I'm now on my personal year 8, which focuses on personal power and finances. What does the tarot say that I should do to complement this personal year 8? Okay. So I'm going to be reading with my Everyday Witch Tarot. And again, I'm going to withhold the card and see if you guys can guess what card I'm talking about. Okay, so what do you need to do to complement this personal year 8? All right. I think collaboration is the key word here. So collaborating with others, whether that is career related, business related, um, or just in your personal life. Don't try to do everything yourself, even though this is a personal year that's focused on personal power and growing your finances. You really are, it's like a different aspect of who you are and a different aspect of your personal strengths come out when you collaborate with others, as opposed to doing everything on your own. So that is the number one thing that pops out to me with this card is the importance of collaboration and of consulting others to get their insights and their ideas. And the thing is, like, you bring a certain flavor to things. You are one piece of the puzzle, and those around you make up the other pieces. They bring the other stuff. So if you're the kind of person, if you're like me, I quite often try to do everything on my own. And and this card is really encouraging you to start to branch out, start to open your mind up a little more, and get comfortable collaborating with others and reaching out to others. Let's see if anyone's guessed what card this is. Oh yeah, Three of Pentacles, says Kaya. You are right, and Arlene also guessed that. Yes, Three of Pentacles. Good guess. Okay. All right. So Caitlin, one of your suggestions for content that I can create is tips on card combinations. That's a good one, actually. I'm gonna kind of write that down. Card combos. I've done a couple videos on that, but that's something I think that I could always do more videos on for sure. Okay. Okay, so Alicia said you got fired for using the F word. Okay. I feel like companies are more strict now than they used to be. It's been like 10 years since I've worked for someone other than myself, but I used to say the F word at work all the time. No one, no one fired me. I used to do all kinds of things at work and I didn't get fired. Okay, so Namri, thank you for the suggestion on doing a refresh of some of my older vids. That's a good one. Yeah, because some of those videos, you know, I look at them and kind of cringe. So definitely the ones on like some of the spreads I could redo for sure. Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad some of you are having a fun time guessing the cards. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reading for okay, I'm gonna do a reading for my Miyajui. I don't know how to say that, sorry. Hi, Kate. I just got off from 4-week quarantine, COVID-19, and just got fired from my work. My name is Martial. One card in general, please. Okay. Okay, Martial. Is it Martial or Martial? I'm not good at pronouncing things. So I'm going to shuffle my Everyday Witch Tarot here. And hopefully this card gives you some encouragement. Or at least some insight. Okay, King of Pentacles. Nice. All right, so King of Pentacles. I'm going to say some of the same things I said when I pulled the Queen of Pentacles earlier, because they're very similar cards. And I must say we're getting a lot of court cards today. So the King of Pentacles, he is a very grounded character. He is very good at connecting with the earth. He's comfortable in his own skin. He's comfortable in his body. And he's just a very grounded, kind of practical, stable sort of guy. Whenever this card comes up in a reading, it's almost always encouraging that person to focus on grounding their energy. And right now, you've just lost your job. And that is one of the most traumatic things that creates so much upheaval. And so you probably feel very ungrounded right now. There's probably a lot of uncertainty and definitely a lot of issues around survival. And the King of Pentacles, that is his domain. He is really, really good at survival. I feel like this card is, I feel like it has kind of a couple of messages. So the first one was about focusing on grounding your energy, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I think the other message of this card is that you're going to be okay, that you have a lot of resources at your disposal, some which you haven't discovered yet. You have a lot of inner resources, you have a lot of inner strength, and you are more capable than you even realize. And that this experience in the long run is going to, in some ways, kind of force you to tap into some of those capabilities and talents that you have in order to move through this time. So let's talk about grounding. So when it comes to the King of Pentacles, he grounds himself through food and exercise and nature. And I find that those three things are helpful to me as well when I need to get grounded. So doing something physical. So I find like weightlifting or even just getting out for a walk or something like that really helps me kind of get out of my head and back into my body. And that's really what grounding is about. It's about getting out of your head, or even getting away from, if you're feeling really emotional, kind of getting away from that and getting really into your body, into your physical body. And being around nature, around plants, around trees helps you do that. And eating like really wholesome, healthy food that's going to really support your body is another way to ground your energy. I think sometimes when we're upset or when we're stressed, I know there's some people who will stress eat, and I think that is kind of a way to ground their energy in a way. I tend to do the opposite. I'll forget to eat when I'm stressed out, and that just makes me even more ungrounded. So that's something important to focus on. I feel like there's something celebratory about this king. He's got this chocolate cake, he's got his glass of wine. And even though things are not looking good for you right now, I think that they will be looking up probably sooner than you think. That's my guess with this card. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful for you. All right. And I will say, I'm sorry I won't be able to read for everyone here. I know you guys probably know that, but I tend to be, I'm going as fast as I can, but I tend to be slow with my readings. So unfortunately, I can't read for everyone, but I'm going to read for as many people as I can. Okay. Lots of career questions. That's interesting because sometimes when I do these, it's a lot of relationship questions, but today it's a lot of career questions. Okay, so I'm going to do a reading for Sherry. What do I need to work on personally moving into 2021? Okay, Sherry. So I'm going to hold the deck in my hands. Okay, so I'm not going to show it to you yet. I'm going to talk about it, and then everyone watching can guess which card it is. All right, what do I need to work on personally moving into 2021? really it's about recognizing your own power to create your life. Um, this is about stepping into your own power and particularly your power to focus, to tune out distractions, to connect with your heart and your emotions and have your actions be in alignment with that. Your actions and your creations in alignment with your heart and your emotions. Um, this is also about recognizing your power to act and to take action on things. Um, and really, this is about your power to take something that is not physical, so an idea or a vision or a desire, and to make it real, to make it manifest on the physical. There's three people guessed it. So it's the magician. So I think that 2021 will be a year for you where you have lots of opportunities to, I mean, we always have opportunities to create our own lives and to bring our ideas and make them happen. But this year especially will be a year that you're focusing on that. And I think the key here is seeing yourself as someone who is capable of doing that. I think that is kind of the first step. All right. Okay, so you're following D2. I'm gonna do a reading for you now. So you just want a general, that's easy. So let's shuffle the cards here. Okay, so D, I'm gonna draw a card for you. General message card. And I'll show it in a second, but I'll give everyone a chance to guess what card this is. Okay, so I'm thinking romance, relationship, communication. I feel like you're gonna be, well, I'm reading this like it's the future, but I feel like this card is speaking about the present more than anything. And you're really ready for a real, true connection with someone. So whether you are single and looking for someone or whether you're already in a relationship, now whether you're happy in that relationship or whether there's issues, um, it doesn't really matter where you're at right now. This card is telling you that you are ready for a real deep connection. So the card that I got is not the lovers, but it's the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is all about coming together with someone and really sharing yourself with them. And at the same time, appreciating the unique traits and abilities that they bring to the table. And really seeing someone else's differences as an asset as opposed to a problem. Because sometimes I think when it comes to romance, we sometimes think we want someone like us that has the same interests and values and sees things in the same way. Um, and sometimes that isn't really true. Sometimes what we're actually looking for is someone with complementary traits where, you know, together you guys are stronger. Um, yeah, that's what I that's what I'm getting from this card is that that's what you're really ready for right now is a deeper kind of more soulful connection with another person. And all right, so I'm gonna read for and by the way, I'm really impressed that some of you guys can guess what card I'm talking about because I don't know if I could do that, to be honest. I have a friend who will read for me sometimes, and we'll do it over the phone. So, and she doesn't like to tell me what the cards are. She'll tell me at the end of the reading. So she'll just turn the cards over and start talking, but she won't specifically refer to the cards. And I have a hell of a time. I can never guess. I have no idea what cards you're looking at. Oh, Kaya, I like this question. A card for how to open up more. Okay. And also hear from others and their struggles and successes. I think that is something that is going to ultimately help you open up. So I don't know if anyone has guessed what the card is yet. Let's see here. I don't think anyone's guessed it yet. Okay. Four of Wands. I think someone said in the comments that the connection is lagging, and that could be. And I also meant to say at the very beginning of this live stream that my power might go out because there's a bit of a windstorm happening. And I already lost my internet connection earlier this morning. So I meant to warn you guys that that could happen. Luckily, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so Four of Wands. So I think one thing that's going to help you open up more is feeling like you are supported. So not trying to do it all on your own, feeling like you have, a certain amount of support from others. And also, I think reaching out to others who have walked that path, who have succeeded in opening themselves up more and seeing how they did it and what they found helpful. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so for anyone who's just joined, I asked earlier, what kinds of videos and content people would like to see and related to tarot. And Sophie, you said you want to know my insight into my personal process when reading for others, but in demonstration mode. So turning over a card and talking through unfiltered what your mind is doing. I've often thought of doing that actually, and I just haven't, and I love that idea. I think that's fantastic. I do it a little bit when I'm doing my weekly readings. I like to say, why I'm saying the things I'm saying, like, what symbols on the cards have triggered those ideas. So I love that idea. My personal process. I'm just jotting this down. Okay. Okay, great. Colleen, you said you just listened to the reading I gave you last year. That's great. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Um, all right. Okay. So I'm going to do one more reading. And if anyone has any questions for me about learning tarot or about giving other people readings that you wanna ask me, feel free. I'd love to talk about it. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle my deck again. I'm going to do a reading for Elizabeth. And Elizabeth doesn't have a question. She just says, can I please get a one card reading? Yes, Elizabeth, you can. All right. What card does Elizabeth need to see right now? All right. So I'm just going to show this one right away. Five of Wands. Okay, so what do you need to see? What do you need to look at? So Five of Wands, in some ways I kind of love this card. So there's a couple of different ways to read the Five of Wands. So the first way to read the Five of Wands is to say that it represents some kind of tussle or struggle in your life with others. And it's usually not anything major. It's more like you're maybe competing you're in competition with one or more people. Maybe there's family disputes or there's a bit of squabbling or arguing here and there. It kind of represents a bunch of people that all have a different idea on how things should be done, and everyone's kind of fighting about how to do things. So that's one way of reading this card. So I could go off on a tangent with that. But there's another way to read this card, and it's to see each person on here as representing an aspect of yourself and all the kind of competing needs and desires that we have. So, for example, there's a part of me that wants to be organized and productive. And so I'll do things like I'll make lists, I'll set my alarm for 8 a.m. I'll set goals for myself. And then there's a part of me that just really wants exercise. And there's a part of me that also wants to indulge. And so there's always these different aspects of myself that are always kind of, sometimes they're really battling it out, and other times it's just minor squabbles. But I think that what's been helpful for me is to listen to all those different aspects of myself and really acknowledge them and try to find some kind of plan as I move forward, that takes into consideration all my various conflicting needs and desires. Um, so that's kind of a roundabout way of interpreting that card. Who was I doing this reading for? Elizabeth, yes. Okay, so Elizabeth, I don't know if that resonates for you or not, but I feel like it's saying that in order to move forward with success and joy and happiness, instead of just paying attention to one part of yourself, you need to sort of expand your view of yourself and take into consideration all the different competing needs and desires that you might have as you move forward. Okay. Okay, here's a good question. This is from Maria. I would like to know methods on how not to get drained while doing a reading. Okay, this is something that I struggle with too, Maria. So I don't know if I'm the best person to be answering this question. So I find it depends. There's some readings I do where I just feel so energized after. I've done reading parties where I've done reading after reading after reading, and then I get home and I can't sleep because I'm just buzzing with energy. And then I've had the exact opposite experience where I've just felt like the life has been sucked out of me and I'm exhausted. Um, and I'm just trying to think what helps me. Um, I think that the one thing that can drain you when you're reading for someone else is if you have unrealistic expectations for yourself about what you're supposed to provide. So I find that if I am sitting down to do a reading for someone, if I feel like I'm supposed to give them all the answers to their questions and solve their problems, that's going to be a much more exhausting reading to give than if I sit down with the attitude that, let's just shuffle the cards and see what cards come up. And I'm going to talk about the cards and hope that something I say sparks some kind of inspiration and helps you, create your own solutions. So I find that's the number one thing that will drain me is if I have an unrealistic expectation of myself as a reader. So if you're struggling with feeling drained when you're doing readings, ask yourself that. Say, what is my role basically? What is your role as a reader? Get really clear on what you're responsible for as a reader. You're not responsible to solve anyone's problems in a 20-minute reading. And I think that that's kind of the number one thing for me anyhow that helps me deal with feeling drained. And also, I think there's just certain types of readings that are more draining than others. I feel it's draining if you're reading for someone who maybe has a whole bunch of really heavy issues going on. That can be draining sometimes. So yeah, it depends on who you're reading for and what kinds of reading you're doing. Okay, Janet. What do I need to do in order to keep peace in the family over the holiday? All right. You need to. Oh, the Emperor. This was the first card that I drew at the beginning of this. So the Emperor. Um, you need to have firm boundaries this year with your family. That's one way of keeping the peace. It's almost like you have to set some ground rules and you need to be firm in your boundaries this year. This isn't a year to be a pushover. And I think sometimes in order to keep the peace, we do that sometimes. We think, oh, I don't want to cause a scene, so I'm not going to bring that up, or I'm not going to put my foot down because I don't want to upset anyone. But the emperor is saying actually that is going to help you keep the peace, being kind of like um, being a little more domineering than you normally would be, having some ground rules. There's a star map to happen, um, and have a game plan of how you're going to deal with it if that does happen. And I think that's going to take some of the stress off you a little bit. All right. Okay. Thank you, Arlene, for your lovely compliment. I'm glad you like my readings. Yeah, and Rock and Roll Doll says pressure is an energy killer. I do that and I overthink too much sometimes. So avoid reading for a lot of people. I think that's another thing. I feel drained when I'm giving a reading to someone. I feel more drained if I'm all in my head the whole time. If I'm able to relax during the reading and kind of get more into my body, more into my heart, I find when I'm in that space, I don't get drained as quickly as when I'm in my mental space. So if I'm doing a reading for someone, I'm just like looking at it with a purely logical mind and I'm trying to analyze the cards and analyze their situation. I find that that can be a draining experience too. Okay. Okay, so Kyron says, I'm thinking of ending a relationship with my partner. Can I get an advice if I'm on the right path? All right, so let's draw a card and see what the cards have to say regarding your relationship. Okay. Ooh, Ace of Cups. Interesting. Hmm. So your question was you wanted a card to see if you're on the right path. So I'm just going to interpret the Ace of Cups, and then I'm going to let you decide if you feel like you're on the right path or not, based on what I say. So I'm just gonna talk about the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups actually will often come up in love readings and readings about relationships because the Ace of Cups really in a lot of ways symbolizes the heart and our ability to connect with our emotions and our ability to sense the emotions of others. I feel like this is a very uh, empathetic card in a lot of ways. And this card is encouraging you to really go into your heart space and connect with what is there. And you can really see just the way the woman on the card, um, I don't know if it's blurry or if you can see that or not, but she's holding this cup and it's at her chest and she has her eyes closed. And to me, that signifies closing your eyes, tuning out distractions, and getting out of your head and moving your center of consciousness down into your heart space and just residing there for a little while and just being there with those feelings that you have. Um, there's something else I wanted to say about this card. I also connect this card to intuition and gratitude. So intuition, because that's kind of, we need to be in our heart space. We need to be out of our head and more into our heart in order to really connect with our intuition. But I say gratitude because this card is also about gratitude. It's about really for the things that you really appreciate. You know, expressing appreciation for others and for just the things in your life, not necessarily people, but but other things. Could be animals, objects, whatever. And I think that when that's one of the easiest ways, by the way, to get into your heart space, if you're having a hard time doing that, is to start thinking of things that you appreciate, and that immediately puts you into your heart space. And so I think start there. Start with a daily practice of doing that, of getting out of your head into your heart, and really looking at things through sort of the eyes of gratitude. Obviously, it's impossible to do that all day, every day, but I just mean, like, you know, do it once or twice a day for just a few minutes and see where that takes you. Um, See if that helps you make a decision on your relationship. All right. So thank you for letting me read for you. Spiritual journey as I enjoy reading and helping people. So I'm a little bit curious now, Cassandra, what you feel your block is with tarot. Because I think when you're learning the tarot, there's all kinds of blocks. You know, over the years, I've dealt with different different blocks to reading the cards. So I'm going to draw a card for you. I'm going to ask, you know, what will help you overcome this block that you're now experiencing. All right, Cassandra. So one thing that will help you, oh, Ace of Cups. I swear I did shuffle the deck. I shuffled it twice. So this is the same card that we just got. So this is kind of interesting for you guys watching because you're going to see me read the same card, but in a totally different way. So the Ace of Cups, in terms of overcoming a block, well, actually, I'm going to say kind of the same thing that I said earlier. One block might be that you're trying to read the tarot purely from a level of mind. And no matter how spiritually advanced you are, this is a trap that we all fall into from time to time. So when you're doing a reading, if you feel stuck or if you just feel cut off from the cards, like you're just not feeling it, take a moment to, and again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but take a moment to get out of your head and into your heart space. So really getting down into here and almost pretend like you have an eye or a couple of eyes in your chest and you're looking at the cards through those eyes instead of through the eyes in your head. See if you can kind of feel into the cards. And sometimes this takes a bit of time, so you want to give yourself the time to do that. It's not always easy to do this if you're reading for someone else and they're sitting right in front of you. But give yourself the time and the space, you know, practice when you're doing readings for yourself, practice this technique. Really feel into the cards and ask yourself, you know, when I close the eyes in my mind and open the eyes in my heart and look at this card, do I see anything different? And I feel like that is going to help you get over some of your blocks with tarot. All right, so I'm going to do a reading for Zainab. Thank you, Zainab. Okay, so your question is, I would love to have a card reading about career. But I'll draw you a card and we'll see what it says. Okay, so the Emperor. This card's shown up 3 times now. All right, so when it comes to career, oh, this is interesting. Okay, the Emperor is really encouraging you to consider self-employment, or at least consider being more independent in your work. So let me just kind of go off on a tangent here. The Emperor is the kind of character who he likes to do things his way. Um, he he's really good at running his own business, and one thing that he excels at is he is not afraid to blaze a trail. So he's not afraid to go somewhere where no one else has gone. He's not afraid to get out of his own comfort zone and do something kind of unorthodox and something that no one else has really done before. And he also he has this really strong sense of what is important to him and what his values are and how to go about expressing that through his work. So to answer your question about career and will you have a job in 2021, um, I feel like I'm leaning towards yes quite strongly, but it's like this experience, and I'm guessing you're out of work. I don't know if you're out of work now or if you're thinking of changing careers, but whatever experience you're having, it's forcing you to question yourself and to question what is important to you and what kind of work you want to do in the world. And the emperor is really encouraging you to either consider self-employment, whether that's starting your own business or kind of doing something along those lines, or at least a career where you have a certain amount of independence. Um, just trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about that. And I don't think there is. Yeah, I think I said it all. So hopefully that made sense, Zainab. Um, yeah, I'm leaning towards yes, you're gonna have a job in 2021, um, but it's not gonna fall into your lap. It's not gonna be handed to you in a silver platter. The emperor is about really like taking initiative and stepping into your power and kind of getting out there and sort of making it happen. Um, so I am kind of leaning towards some kind of self-employment, but if that doesn't fit for you, if that doesn't make sense, then definitely uh, being more independent in the work that you do. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do a reading for Colleen. So thank you, Colleen. Um, I would love to know if there are any gifts coming in 2021. Okay. Yeah, because 2020 was an interesting year for a lot of people. Any gifts coming in 2021? Okay. The High Priestess. All right. It's a beautiful card. Really beautiful card. Okay. So the answer is yes. There will be many gifts in 2021, I believe. The High Priestess, I feel like the main gift that you will be offered, and this is the thing about gifts that come to us. We may be offered them, but we might not receive them. So it's like an opportunity that's offered. You may not choose to take that opportunity, but it's presented to you. So the gift I see being presented to you in 2021 is the gift of tapping into your inner self more deeply. It's about developing your gifts of intuition, your psychic senses, and really exploring your inner worlds through things like meditation, paying attention to your dreams, dream journaling. Um, I mean, the woman on this card is gazing at a crystal ball. She's got tarot cards. She's got rune stones. Those are all ways of exploring the self. There's many, many ways. There's yoga, there's astral travel, lucid dreaming. There's all different ways of exploring the self. Um, I see that as being the main gift for you this year. And I see that as being a gift that is offered to you many, many times throughout the year, is the gift of being able to really go inward. I feel like there's something else I want to say here about that. Um, My attention is drawn to all the books and gleaning knowledge that others have acquired over the years. So studying up on something, whether you're taking a course, you're reading a book, there's going to be a lot of resources that help you tap into your inner self this year. So best of luck, Colleen. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. So Becky, you suggested doing a video where I do different interpretations of the same card. Okay, I have done one like that, but I can do another one. Different interp of different cards. I like that idea. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 or 3 more readings and then I'll pack it in. So I'm gonna read for, actually, let me just look at my note sheet here. Okay. I'm gonna do a reading for, well, actually, first I'm gonna answer a question from Kyron. Do you think reading on days like your birthday, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's has a stronger energy and is better? I do. I do think that. I find that the readings that I do, like last year I did a reading on New Year's Eve. I usually read on my birthday. I usually read on Halloween. And I do find that those readings have a special kind of oomph to them. And I don't know if that's just because how I think of the reading. Like, I think of those readings as being more special, so they are more special to me. I don't know if the readings themselves are necessarily really better than if I read on any other day. But I do think that it's extra special to do readings on, you know, special days, special events. Lots of questions about 2021. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reading for April. So thank you, April. So hello, Kate. What does 2021 have in store for me? Happy holidays. Well, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle my cards. And again, I'm not the best predictive reader, but let's just see what cards come up here. Okay, so we got the Empress, which is a really nice card to get here. The Empress is a very abundant card. You know, here's a woman who is fertile. She has her big pregnant belly, and in the background, there's peach or apple trees that are in bloom, and there's flowers. So things are in bloom. This represents kind of fertility and abundance and things really being in bloom. So to answer your question, you know, what does 2021 have in store for you? My guess is a whole bunch of different things are in store. You know, there's usually no year where everything is bad or where everything is good. Usually every year is kind of a mix of different things, maybe more one than the other. But based on this card on the Empress, um, this is really a positive card. And I feel like it's it feels good, but it feels like there's going to be more opportunities for you in 2021. I also feel like one way for you to really tap into a lot of those experiences and opportunities is to be almost kind of laid back. There's something really luxurious about the Empress and the way that she is just kind of hanging out in her garden. She's the kind of woman who doesn't get all in a kerfuffle over things. She's not overly controlling when it comes to things. She's the kind of woman who kind of sits back and lets things unfold, lets things blossom. And that's kind of her approach. So I think that that's a good way to approach 2021 in a lot of ways. It doesn't mean you can't have goals or you can't have anything that you're working towards, but you want to take almost a laissez-faire kind of laid back approach to things. Like, you know, put your energy out there, but then step back and see what happens, see how things unfold. Just seeing if there's anything else I want to say about this card. it also feels like 2021 is the year that you will be birthing something. And I don't mean physically, unless you are pregnant, then then yes, but that's not what I mean. Her pregnant belly to me in the card is a symbol of something that is inside of you that is growing, that you will be ready to express and to reveal to the world in 2021. So that could be an artistic endeavor, it could be a project that you're working on, could be an idea that you have that you want to make manifest, whatever that is. So one question to ask yourself as we're on the cusp of entering 2021 is, what do I want to give birth to in 2021? What do I want to bring into my life in 2021? Okay. All right, so a couple more. I'm just going to do 2 more readings, and then I'm going to shut it down because I don't want you guys to get bored of bored of listening to me read. Okay, so I'm going to do one more reading for someone, and then I'm going to do a general reading. I know I started with a general reading, but I'm going to end with a general reading, and I'm going to do, even though I said I don't like doing predictive readings, I'm going to do kind of a forecast into 2021 to see what advice the tarot has for us with this new year. All right, so the last person I'm going to read for is sorry guys, I'm just I'm just scrolling up reading all the different questions. uh, okay, May 570. Hi Kate, I would love a card reading, please. What comes my way in 2021? All right, everyone's asking that. Okay, May. All right, so the card you got is Page of Pentacles. So 2021 is a year where you're going to be doing some learning. You might be learning some new skills. It could be for a new job, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of learning happening in 2021. You're also going to be kind of getting your footing, laying down the groundwork for what is to come later on. So 2021 is going to be like a year where you're building the foundations of something. I feel like there might be a bit of indecision this year, so you may be kind of struggling here and there about what path to choose. So you're going to have to make some decisions this year for sure. And it's almost like you're going to have to make some decisions between following a tried and true formula and just kind of winging it. So that's going to be a theme for 2021. It's like you may think that you crave direction and to know what to do next and to have like a guidance book for life. But that's not what you really want. You really want to kind of wing it. And that's really what everyone is doing, is winging it. But that's something that you get more comfortable with in 2021. You get more comfortable with casting aside the book of rules and the book of directions, throwing out the map and just kind of winging it and doing your own thing and seeing what happens. I almost feel like 2021 is kind of a carefree year for you, a year where you just say, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to do whatever this year. I'm going to try that. In the past, you may have been more uptight or you may have needed more of a plan in order to take action. 2021, you're a little more footloose and fancy free. Okay, so I'm going to finish up by quickly reading the comments, and I'm going to finish up by doing a general reading for everyone about 2021. Oh, and thank you guys so much for being here. I'm always really flattered and also kind of surprised every time I do one of these lives, seeing everyone show up and listening to me ramble for an hour and a half. Becky, you said you like these. It's a perk of being unemployed. Yeah, that's right. All right. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna work with the Everyday Witch Tarot for this general reading, and I think I'm gonna draw a couple cards for this one. So the question I'm gonna ask for us all is, what basically what themes, what opportunities will present themselves most strongly in 2021? And I will be doing a big, fancier New Year's reading on my YouTube channel. Actually, I gotta start thinking about that. So I always post that. Actually, I could post that any time now, I guess. But I'll be doing a bigger reading that will be a 2021 forecast. And if you haven't seen my 2020 forecast, which I did before the pandemic hit, you should go back and watch it. I don't predict a pandemic, but I think there were some pretty intense cards that came up in that reading. I think the death card might have been the central card. I can't remember. Okay. So I'm going to draw two cards here, and they're going to represent the themes and opportunities that will appear most prominently for us throughout the year. So the two cards I got is the Star and Strength. So those are two really powerful cards. These are powerful major arcana cards, and they're both kind of different. So let's start with the Star. I talked about the Star because someone got this card in a reading, and so I already talked a little bit about this one. The Star is about having hope and really trusting that as things unfold, they're unfolding in the way that they need to. This is about almost not trying to control everything, kind of almost surrendering. So surrendering your control and really kind of going with the flow. Yeah, this is about going with the flow, but it's also about really, it's like the opposite of stress. So I'll get this card sometimes when I'm really stressed out about something, and I'll do a reading and I'll ask my cards, what do I need to see? What do I need to look at? And I'll often get this card, and it's saying, just chill out, just relax, stop trying to control everything. See challenges more as opportunities, and really kind of have some trust and faith that the universe isn't just chaos, that there is some sort of order to it. So I'm going to come back to this card because I feel like there's more I want to say about her. Let's talk about Strength, because I feel like Strength is going to be a big card for us in 2021. So what does Strength represent? Strength represents strength and having kind of that inner fortitude. It also represents a certain kind of gentleness. It's about recognizing your own power, but it's also about learning how to wield that power in a way that is, I guess, I want to say responsible, effective, because there's two ways that you can wield power. You can wield it over people. You can throw your power around, which is usually not true power. Usually people that do that don't actually feel powerful. So there's a difference between feeling powerful and what was I going to say? I was going to say there's a difference between being powerful and feeling powerful, but no. I think that we all have the opportunity to use our power in a certain way. And Strength is about using your power in a positive way. So notice how this woman, this Strength figure, is treating the lion. She's being gentle. She's not domineering. She's not trying to dominate this lion. and yet it likes her, it respects her. She's tamed this lion, but not by brute force. She's done it by earning the lion's respect and trust. And I feel like in so many ways, this is the kind of relationship to power that we want to cultivate in 2021. I don't know if what I said even made any sense at all. I also feel like there's this interesting thing going on this card, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but there's a little kitty cat right under the lion. And I feel like this represents sort of the two aspects of ourselves. We have this domesticated side that follows rules and is very, not meek, but agreeable and tamed down. We have a tame side. And then we have our inner lion, which is like an inner untamed, the untamed, big, powerful part of ourselves. And having true strength is about recognizing those two aspects of ourselves and not repressing the lion in favor of the kitty cat, but being able to bring both of those things together and integrating them. There's also this tornado that's looming in the background, which looks pretty threatening until you realize that she has this magic wand, and it's almost like she has created that tornado. She is the creator of that chaos. So I feel like 2021 there's going to be opportunities for us to really get in touch with our inner strength and opportunities to express that in a way that is powerful and not like throwing a tantrum, not like throwing your weight around and threatening people, but about really expressing your power in a very real, authentic, and healthy way. So let's go back to the star because I kind of cut short with the star. Um, okay, so the star is about really letting go and developing a sense of trust in life and trusting that even when things seem chaotic and maybe even when things seem terrible, that it's going to be okay. It may not work out the way you want it to. It may not work out the way that you'd planned, but it's going to be okay in the end. And I think having that perspective sometimes takes a weight off our shoulders. It allows you to breathe. The star is encouraging you to breathe more deeply, breathe a sigh of relief. And together, these two cards are very powerful. And both of these women they're strong and they're powerful, yet they are strong and powerful in almost a soft kind of way, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to think of another way to describe that. They aren't like the emperor. Let's put it that way. The emperor has his armor. He's like, here I am. These characters are more subtle in the way that they express their power. So what do I think 2021 is going to be like for us? I think there are going to be challenges. I think whenever strength comes up, you're you're going to be challenged a little bit. But I also think there's going to be a lot of hope, which is the star. I think there's going to be a lot of hope. And I think that a lot of us are going to be finding our strength and finding our footing in 2021, whereas 2020 was about kind of losing that footing for a lot of us and kind of being shaken and having things really kind of like the rug ripped out from under us. And I think 2021, we're going to be finding our sea legs. We're going to be tuning into our inner strength more. So what do you guys think about that? Haven't looked at the comments yet. Claire Bear says, well, they can't be any worse than 2020. That's kind of how I feel too, yeah. Well, thanks guys for the nice compliments. And thank you. That's really nice to hear, Janet, that you took one of my courses and it moved you from hobby to serious reading skills. That's so good to hear. Yeah, I'm actually going to be offering private readings in kind of New Year's readings. starting January 2nd. And then in, I guess, April, May-ish, I'm going to be doing my next course. And I believe this next course is going to be on reading tarot for others and, how to give someone a tarot reading. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so thank you, everyone, for being here. It was so special to get to hang out with you and read for you. So thank you to everyone who asked a question. And my apologies if I did not get to you, if I didn't read for you. I do these live tarot parties, every couple of months or so. So if you didn't get a reading at this one, feel free to come to the next one, and I'd be happy to read for you. Yeah, so I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I hope you have, even if this Christmas is kind of weird because of COVID, I hope that you are able to celebrate and enjoy good food and stuff like that. Yeah, Tina, you said the world is going through a major change in 2021. I would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Merry Christmas, everyone. And thanks again for joining me. And I hope to see you at my next live event. So, best wishes over the Christmas holidays and best luck in 2021. Bye.